forward send if you allow candidates with forged signatures to be on the ballot.
Now, the split board, 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, did not reach a consensus in the building behind me. So the 5 candidates are off the ballot and will have to file a lawsuit to try and get back on. The Craig campaign doing just that, releasing a statement that reads in part, "We will be filing an immediate appeal in the courts. We are confident that when the law is justly applied, our campaign will be on the ballot this August." But time is running out. The elections director says June 3rd, next Friday, is the deadline for a decision. Another frontrunner, Tudor Dixon, approved to be on the ballot for the August primary. Now, coming up at 6, hear from one of the candidates kicked out of the election today. Glenda?
Things are getting interesting. All right, Brian, thank you so much joining us live in Lansing tonight. And you can read more about the decision from Michigan's Board of Canvassers and the reaction from the campaigns on our website, WXYZ.com. And we're turning now to your 7 First Alert forecast and the threat of more heavy rain and storms to come. Chief Meteorologist Dave Rexroth in the Weather Center, tracking what's moving through here. Dave.
And Glenn, I think you nailed it on the head. This is going to be more about the heavy rain potential, more so than dangerous or damaging winds. That's not completely out of the question, but it looks like it's not very likely. The flow is from south to north here. It's been the heaviest through Sanilac County and still is. And you say, well, there's not much going on in Metro. There are showers out there, just nothing real heavy yet, but there'll be more flowing in from the south through the evening into the overnight as well. And mostly again about the heavy rain, but can't completely rule out the possibility of something isolated with some stronger winds. A heavier batch in Ohio coming this way, Cincinnati and south, more coming this way as well. So it's an extended period of time here through this evening and tonight. And the storm system is anchored in Missouri. We got to get that to go through before we can get to some dry weather. We'll talk about that and the heat up coming up.
All right, Dave, thank you. And don't forget to download the free 7 app. You can track the rain and storms with the powerful 7 First Alert radar that you control. And we have new information emerging tonight in the Texas school shooting. Investigators now revealing how that gunman was able to enter Robb Elementary, where he killed 19 children and 2 teachers. Police now say it appears the gunman got through an unlocked door and that he wasn't confronted by anyone before entering the school. There are also new questions about the timeline of police response. Meantime, we've learned that President Biden and the First Lady will travel to Uvalde, Texas to pay tribute to the victims. Reporter Morgan Norwood is in Uvalde with the very latest.
As families and the Uvalde community continue to grieve, new questions about the police response and how the suspect made it into the school unobstructed.
There was not an officer readily available armed, no.
Law enforcement now going frame by frame of this video showing the suspect entering the school, piecing together the details of the response as part of their investigation. One witness telling ABC's Matt Gutman what he saw as police arrived at the scene.
Some of them just stood there and said, well, why aren't they going in?
Authorities say the gunman was inside Robb Elementary for 40 minutes before he was killed by a Border Patrol SWAT team member. 19 children and 2 teachers were dead. One father says law enforcement didn't act quickly enough to save his 10-year-old daughter's life.
They said they rushed in and all that. We didn't see that.
Our officers, when they engaged, they were doing everything they could. There are broken windows where agents were trying and officers and law enforcement personnel were trying to evacuate some of the children. Our agents acted swiftly and very heroically.
Law enforcement say Salvador Ramos' shooting spree began with his own grandmother. He shot her in the face and then took off in her truck before crashing about a block and a half near the school. Then, dressed in tactical gear, police say he ran toward the school with a backpack and an AR-15 style rifle. With the motive still unclear, questions now about missed warning signs and the string of private messages between the gunman and a 15-year-old girl who calls herself Cece in Germany. ABC News reviewing that text thread he allegedly sent the teen he met online.
And ABC News talking with the teen in those Facebook messages, she says she didn't reply until she got word about what happened. She says she wonders if there was anything that she could do to change the shooter's mind. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Uvalde, Texas.
The tragedy in Texas sparking concern about school safety here in Michigan. Students from Oxford, Scarlett Middle School in Ann Arbor, and Marygrove High School in Detroit, all staging walkouts earlier today. The The walkout at Marygrove happening after this disturbing video of a student pointing what we've now learned is a BB gun in class. DPSCD police identified the student and took him into custody. 7 Action News reporter Kiera Hay joins us live with what families say needs to be done to keep their kids safe. Kiera.
Well, Glenda, the families I spoke with say enough is enough. As you mentioned, just today, a teen was charged for bringing a weapon into Marygrove High School, and students say they are tired of not feeling safe at school. Today, hundreds of students at Oxford Public Schools staging a walkout. The protest stemming from a mass school shooting in Texas that took the lives of 21 people, including 19 children. It's a pain families in Oxford say is all too familiar.
You're upset, you're sad, but you're also really angry that we continue to have these.
Andrea Jones was one of the parents present at the protest. Her son attends Oxford High School and was in the building the day 4 people died at the hands of a gunman. Today, she says the student body's message is clear.
They just want an end to school shootings, period.
In Ann Arbor, students at Scarlett Middle School stood for a moment of silence while demanding an end to gun violence.
Like, how is any student supposed to come here and feel safe?
Alasia Dean is an 11th grader at Marygrove High School in Detroit. Her student body also walked out in protest today. But in addition to ending gun violence, Dean and her classmates want more safety and protocols inside the classroom after a student was able to bring a BB gun into school and aim it at somebody without teachers' knowledge.
Anything could have happened to us while we was there.
Student and staff safety is paramount. Bottom line.
Lakia Wilson Lumpkins is the executive VP for the Detroit Federation of Teachers. She says right now they're arranging meetings with students and parents to come up with a solution. Dean believes they should beef up security despite potential backlash.
I don't want students complaining like, why is they checking our bags? Why do we need metal detectors? Stuff like this. This is the reason we need metal detectors.
Has there been any conversation about metal detectors?
We're going to have that conversation today.
The Oxford parent that I spoke with says she doesn't know if it's metal detectors or stricter gun laws, but they want something to change. As for the teen who brought the BB gun into Marygrove High School, he was charged with possessing a weapon in a weapon-free zone. Live in Detroit, Kiera Hay, 7 Action News.
Calls for change quite loud. Kiera, thank you. Well, we want to pass along a state program in Michigan that's focused on preventing school tragedies. Students can report a confidential tip 24/7 through the OK to Say hotline. The phone number is 8555 OK to Say, or you can text 652-729. New COVID-19 cases and deaths continue to decline around most of the world, except the Americans and Western Pacific. And that's according to the World Health Organization's weekly report. It shows the number of new weekly cases in other regions has continued falling since January. 3.7 million new cases and 9,000 deaths were reported in the last week, with the U.S. reporting the highest number of both. A consumer alert tonight. The recall involving Jif peanut butter expanding to other products. The other items now being recalled because of concern over salmonella. But first, a new warning about ticks as we head into the summer season. That illness on the rise in Michigan. Hey, Dave.
Now you got me itching. Listen, rain, go away, right? Just in time for the holiday. I'll tell you how much we get between now and then.
I'm Dave Llewellyn. Coming up all new tonight on 7 Action News at 6, a social media threat just hours after the Texas school shooting.
When somebody is speaking about doing it, and almost simultaneously when this was done, why wouldn't we think that threat is going to be carried out?
A local teen now facing serious charges and possibly decades behind bars.
Why the defense says this may not be a threat to the public, and how that will be determined.
We'll have this story and so much more for you coming up all new tonight on 7 Action News at 6. Stick around and join us. Glenda.
All right, Dave, thank you. We'll see you soon. A new health alert tonight from the state. Tick-borne diseases are on the rise. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is encouraging residents to take precautions to avoid bites this summer. Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, joins us now. And Dr. Nandi, what are the most common diseases that Michigan ticks carry, and how can they affect a person's health?
So Glenda, Michigan, this is summertime, we're enjoying it, but now we've got something else to worry about. The most common tick-borne disease found in our state is Lyme disease. Last year, cases of Lyme disease nearly doubled. In 2020, we had 451 cases. In 21, we had 878 confirmed and probably reported cases. The next common tick-borne disease, a lot of people don't know about this, is anaplasmosis. Cases of this disease have risen as well, but the numbers are much lower than Lyme disease. In 2020, there were 17 confirmed and probable cases. In 21, there were 56 cases. Now, both of these diseases are transmitted by Ixodes scapularis. That's a fancy scientific name. Most people, they call them black-legged tick or the deer tick. Now, if Lyme disease is not treated, then the infections can spread to the heart, causing palpitations and irregular heartbeat, the nervous system leading to meningitis or facial palsy, and the joints causing swelling and pain, especially in the knees. I've had patients with that. And as far as anaplasmosis, if it's not treated, it can cause serious problems: respiratory failure, bleeding problems, organ failure, and even death. So we got to watch out for those.
Wow, definitely. So how can we avoid tick bites, and what should we do if we get bitten?
Yeah, you don't want to enjoy the weather and enjoy the summer, right? But it's unfortunate, but we're expected to have more ticks than usual this season. So here's my advice to avoid them. First, use insect repellent. Products that contain DEET or picaridin works the best. Avoid grassy, brushy, or wooded areas where ticks like to live. When you're out for a walk, keep to the middle of the path. If you can, treat clothing and gear with 0.5 permethrin and follow instructions, and don't apply it directly to your skin. Lastly, always check your body and clothes, right, for ticks. And if you have kids, check their bodies as well, make sure. It's also a good idea to take a shower after being outside to wash off any that may be unattached, and if you find a tick on your body, use tweezers to pull them out. Grab it as close to your skin as possible without squeezing it, really important, and pull it straight out. Now watch for early symptoms like fever, chills, rash, headaches, fatigue, muscle or joint aches. If you develop these, see your doctor, because they're non-specific. So if you have any questions, just talk to your doctor.
Yeah, because your first instinct is to brush it off.
That's exactly right.
Get it off you.
It's exactly, you take a tweezer, pull it straight out.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nandi. Appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, we're going to turn now to the forecast. A live look over Ann Arbor tonight. It's been a soggy gray afternoon. We did get a couple peaks of sun, but you can feel the heat, Dave.
It's going to keep going, I think, here with the rain. So not much sunshine until we get to Saturday. So the rest of this evening and tomorrow as well, pretty dreary as we go. Breaks out here, yeah, a little bit. It's certainly more widespread and a little heavier north of I-69 than through the metro. But some of these pockets are still pretty heavy, moving from south, southwest to north, northeast. And there's some more to come. The area here from the tip of the thumb through our whole region in southeast Michigan, technically still underneath this marginal risk. But things have been going big down south and zapping some of the energy. So it's very, very minor.